As you will have seen, I've been working on the Honda XL125 and I ordered a number of new parts. There's some other parts mixed in here that aren't for the bike as well, but we'll go through opening them up. Some of the bits I've already got. This is the brake light switch, so I've got a couple of those because they're kind of standard parts for the Honda XLs that fit into the little brake lever mount for the correct size there. So I've already got those, and what I've got here is the top seals, the scraper seal for the forks. The 125 seals originals, or the ones that were in it, they had like a metal sleeve with the two seals set inside, this and the bigger seal. When you buy the new seals, their outer circumference, diameter and circumference, is the same as that metal sleeve. So you've got to get the metal sleeve out first before you can put the new seals in. But nobody actually tells you that you have to buy these top seals as well. When you just look for seals for an XL125, they just show you the lower one, not the top one, that this fits under the little circlip in the top of the forks. Right, so in this first one, I'm hoping is a carburettor and other 125 parts. So when I was trying to get the bike going, it was a bit hard to start. And I looked back inside the carb. I had previously stripped it out when I got the bike. And you can see that it was the kind of crap metal that they're made of was corroding in there. It wasn't particularly good, let's put it that way, inside. So I went back online to good old China, and I'll put up a list of what these parts cost and got some replacement bits for the electrical. So we've got here a full coil. So we'll get that fitted because the other one has got a crack in it. So there we go. It's a single contact point. You get some with a plus and minus. This one is negatively connected through the mount there. So a coil. And then what have we got in here? Various rubber mounts for the side panels, things like that. So they are dirt cheap from China. I'll put the prices up for you. 2 packs of those. What else have we got in here? Just some Dremel bit drill pieces. I mean, don't go buying these at Auto Jumbles. They are a fraction of the price. There's about 40 in there. They charge you £1 each at Auto Jumbles for this kind of stuff. They're equally as good. That's probably where they're getting them from at the Auto Jumble and knocking them out at £1 each. And then in here, yes, there we go. Replacement carburettor. So I measured up the existing one. It's the correct inlet size there, and pretty much looks exactly the same as the one that's come off it. Again, I'll put the prices up. I think there was only like £10 or £11 for this, which is ridiculous. But it's one of these let's see if it works type things. Get the slide out. Oh, not very good. Okay, pin, everything is in, or needles, everything in there. Just need to get the cable fitted on the bike and working. Okay, so that's those parts. Now, next up, I'm not sure if this is actually for the 125. I do have a Toyota Land Cruiser I'm working on, and I needed an ignition barrel. Yep, and that's what this is. Comes with keys. Okay. Right, this over here should be more 125 parts. What have we got here? Yes, so charge capacitor with what appears to be all the correct wiring, and that's the one that goes over to the coil. Right. Again, as I said, I'll put the prices up for these. So this appears to be a speedo or rev cap. It looks like it's the that's front wheel mount by the look of it. Not sure. That looks like a speedo cable. I'll check which one that is. Yep. Okay, in here. Certainly well wrapped. I ordered two because there was a couple of different model numbers and I wasn't exactly sure which one, but this is another key set for the Toyota. So no worries on that. Check that out later if that fits. But for the price of them, those keys, if you try to order them in this country, £240. Those from China, I think they were £11 or £14 each. Okay. So what we've got here is the pulse generators. So what I'm looking at is, could I get something that would replace the existing pulse generator in that XL125? So this one goes in slightly curved that way up. There's your receiver on that side, 2-wire affair. So I wanted to see if I could get that to fit in place of the one there in case I had any issues with the one in the existing bike. So that's going to be a little bit of experiment, because what I could also make up is a back plate for this as well and just replace that in its entirety and get a new center magnet. So let's find a way to break into this one. There we go, let's try that. Okay, what have we got here? Look at that, all that wrapping is so well wrapped. All of that wrapping for another little pulse generator. As you can see, slightly smaller than the other one. Might be a better fit. But yeah, there is units you can buy all made up. I think it's Titronics or something like that, which they're not cheap, but a whole new backing plate. That's all you need for that to fix it in place. And the last item in this delivery excellent. Okay, so this, and look how well wrapped everything is a new set of grips and the throttle actuator, if you want to call it that, for the 125. Perfect. So let's just get all that back up. So there we go. There you go. So all of that, I'll put the prices up in a minute. As I said, we've got charge capacitor, grips and throttle for the 125, 2 sets of panel grommets. They come in handy for all sorts of Hondas. Replacement carburettor, top fork seals, scraper seals. There is 2 pickup coils there, pulse generators that I'm going to mess around with. There is a front wheel speedo cable, yes, the coil, 2 brake light switches, and the 2 parts at the end are ignition switches for a Toyota. I'll put up the prices for all of that, and yeah, you'll be able to see what you can get without having to spend fortunes. And as you can see so far with the work that I've done on the XL, I had it running. It was running a bit lumpy, which I put down to this. So once we get that back in, we'll get it all running again, and you'll see how that goes. So I've fitted some of the parts that I've just showed you. What we're looking at here is the new coil. It's shorter than the old coil. So here's the old one. So you can see from the mounting points, it's not going to fit. So what I've done is just made up a back plate in here, bolted to the existing mounting here, because these bolts also don't line up with the plate mountings, and then drilled that and cut out into the plate so that the coil kind of sits into it, and bolted that onto it. So now temp wired up to the charge capacitor, which I'll show you in a minute. I've also got the new grips. This is the throttle cable. So this is the new throttle, Chinese again. The only difference on this is the cable comes out, on the originals come out this way, this one comes out to the side. It does fit under there. Let's show you that, there you go. So it does fit under there, okay. Needs a little bit more adjustment on it, so I think I need to put a little threaded cap in the top of the carb. So talking about the carb, that's the next new item. So that's the replacement carb, like for like, straight in fit, which I've got hosed up at the moment with a temporary fuel. And then round on the other side, I've got the new charge capacitor put in, because I did try it with the old one. I wasn't getting a spark, so basically I've kind of eliminated things as I've gone. Put that in and I started to get a spark, but it wasn't particularly good. I retested the black and red, definitely had 30-40 volts coming through from that, from the generator, and also all the proper wires connected up. I've not got any of the ignition wires connected up at the moment. It's just the basic wiring setup. Now what you can see there is actually a Chinese pulse generator. So I've still got the existing rotor in there, a little bit loose on there. This is the old pulse generator just to one side. Now it was sparking with that and the new charge capacitor, a little bit infrequent, a little bit weak, let's put it that way. Not sure why it would be weak, even if it's sending the pulse. This shouldn't have been the point of the weak spark. However, Chinese pulse generator hooked up. This is the connections to it, and all works perfectly. So one of the things I have had to do with the pulse generator, it's only got one screw in it at the moment into the existing backing plate. And if you can see just around there, that one's not in because it doesn't line up with the existing backing plate. So I can either drill the existing backing plate or make up a new one. It's just a plate that screws in on kind of over here. There we go, on these fixing screws, that one there and that one there. So I could just make up another backing plate, simple enough for that. But I've also just had to grind off just a little bit of the top of the bracket there because it interfered. Let's move the cable. Yeah, it interferes with the top of the casing, that little half circle there. So I just had to grind the top of that off so it would sit in, and then also give me the 10 thou clearance that I needed on the rotor. This is a bit of a knackered rotor anyway. I have had a look for those in China. You can't get anything that's exact, or there's stuff that kind of looks like it might fit. But I've actually ordered an original. They're only about 25, I think it was, or 28 pounds or something like that, for a new rotor and advance mechanism. Comes with the all advanced mechanism in the back as well. So yeah, that is a good fit. But what I've got to look for is, as you can see, it's a little bit deeper perhaps than this original. So I need to check and see if the casing goes over it. If it doesn't, all I need to do is just make up a little alley plate in there, sort of spacer plate with gasket and everything, just to space it out a bit so that the front of these, I'll put some tape over those, don't touch the casing. But that's all I've had to do, all I've had to amend on this side of it. As I showed you on the other side, the coil has just got a new mounting plate on it. But so far, all of this Chinese stuff has been working pretty well for a fraction of the cost. So now I've just got to get it to run in properly, because it's still got the issue that you would have seen in the previous. It's really tight, it's getting really hot, and as it warms up on tick over, the tick over isn't enough to keep it running, and I don't want to rev it high at the moment. I'm just going to keep starting it up, go through some hot and cool cycles on it, check the valve clearances, and then get to a point where I use it so it does get pretty damn hot, let's put it that way. There we go, that's what I mean. It gets hotter and tighter, doesn't want to run at the moment. I'm going to keep going through those cycles until it gets a little bit loose. So yeah, that's the first set of Chinese parts that are on it. I'm waiting for some more to arrive, which I'll show you when they get here. And one of them is quite interesting for the price that you can get it in China as a replacement part that fits this XL125S. So hold on for the next video. I'll keep them short as I do the work. I'm not going to kind of show you everything that I'm doing because you get bored with watching people mechanicking. Let's just see the results of some of these new parts on this old bike and get the thing running again. So that's it. Subscribe and like. I'll be back with some more videos on this 125, and then I do need to start back on the VFR 400 that I've got, just to get the carbs back into that and get the thing running and decide what I do with it sell-wise or sale-wise.